Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. It's Asa Questenberry here on the Kansai Collective today. We're interviewing the boy Jayla, covering topics of hosting in Japan, the rap scene, rap artists, everything going on in that community, what it's like kind of working in a host environment, and a bunch of other interesting stuff.
Kansai Collective. West side of Japan, we out here coolin', Zane and Nessa got connections. We know you got questions. Ain't no need to worry.
Mina, welcome back. Thank you again, guys, for tuning in to another episode of the Kansai Collective. Yo, your nails are shiny. How are you?
I'm sorry, guys. I'm working on my Asa impression.
Dozo, take it away, man.
Hi, it's Asa here with the Kansai Collective, and we have
Zane Fletcher
that was
Johnson.
a terrible Zane.
I'm not. Yeah, you're
Impression.
a little bit better. Enough about us, man. What's up, Jayla?
Howdy, dowdy.
Nah.
Daddy, no. Okay.
Yo, I gotta shout out, Arthur. Thank you. He is our first Patreon.
Oh, we have a Patreon supporter. Yes, thank you. The channel grows. We appreciate it, man. All the support helps us bring you guys more content. Speaking of which, if it's your first time checking out our channel, please be sure to head on over to our Patreon, show some love so that we can grow the channel.
Let's get our second
you
one.
guys our more content here from the Kansai region. As always, Asa Questenberry, Zane Johnson,
Live in the
joining
Kansai, baby.
with us today. Jayla, I don't know your last name.
Nah,
man.
he looks like Tupac. He's like the Japanese version
Young
of
Japanese
Tupac.
Okay.
And then we got like a little
a bold claim.
ice cream sandwich going on. Me and Jayla on the outside. You're the white filling. You feel me?
Oh, okay. We're talking about the diversity here.
No, ice cream sandwich. We are ice cream sandwich.
Yeah. Not one of the Oreo sandwiches.
What's your favorite Japanese ice cream sandwich?
My favorite one is the one where it's got the waffle cone on the outside.
And the chocolate in
and
there.
it's in the squares because you
Yeah.
can bite off the square at
the
a
waffle
time.
one. Do you like the one with just vanilla or the one with the chocolate on the
With
inside?
the chocolate little bar right there in the middle.
That's my favorite one as well.
I like the what do you call them? Like Pinot? Not the Pinot. The little
Pinot.
Yeah, the little ice cream.
Pinot.
What
Ladies,
shape
what's
is that?
your favorite ice cream? Favorite ice cream? Oh, okay, choco.
Do you know?
Ita choco.
Or ice.
We got ita choco ice.
Yes.
In Japan, we say ice. We don't say ice cream. We say ice.
They say ice.
Ice. Ita choco ice is the favorite. So we got a special situation today on the Kansai Collective.
Yes.
A little bit. As always, we're here at the deck in Honmachi, Osaka, Japan. Thank you, the deck staff,
Thank you,
facilities,
Tomo.
for giving us this wonderful studio to bring you guys the content. But today we've got we're growing our team a little bit. We've got the Kansai Collective interns, social media interns. We got some local people joining us, helping us out, getting involved.
Big growth.
So we're excited. So thank you, ladies, for joining us today. You can't see them now, but maybe we'll show you guys later. So it's a busy day. We've got Jayla, we've got interns, we've got Tomo showing up late. We'll never let him forgive it.
Never.
And
Never. He owes us lunch. I hope you hear me.
We can hear us in there. Nice. So, well, anyway, jumping back in, Jayla, thank you for joining us, man. Thank you for stopping
having
by. Let's get the normal.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. Look at this. This is the first time I've ever seen one of our guests dressed like this before.
Nothing wrong with it. We've had guests
Yeah,
dressed like
we
Zane
swagging.
before, so you're setting the standard. I love it. Jayla, give us a little intro, man. Where are you from? What are you doing here? All that good stuff while I find my coffee.
Jayla is from Texas, and
Texas, okay.
he's out here doing rap music and hosting, entertainment, nightlife,
Ooh.
day
What is
life.
What is a host?
A host, in a nutshell, is someone who entertains customers and shows people a fun time.
You're working at a spot here in Osaka doing that?
This one, Resistance.
Group Resistance. Okay.
Okay.
So you guys want a fun
represent.
night? Yeah, go stop and check out and hang out with Jayla at Group Resistance.
What part Osaka is that in?
This one, Shinsaibashi, Namba area.
Okay.
Close to the Don Quixote.
Okay.
10-minute walk.
How did you get into that? How did you get into hosting?
So when I first came to Osaka in February, I met up with this German guy. And the first day I was there, I gotta work and I got no dough. I need to get my bread up. So I asked him people, what y'all doing out here? And he's like, I host. Like, host? like, you're German, you know.
How do you do that in Japan, right?
How do you do that in Japan? Isn't that only for people of the land? That's not something that you're going to find someone who's not from here doing. But then I go and I ask everybody else, and they're telling me, yeah, he's a host for real. He be wearing the suits. He be going out on the streets and hollering at people. And for me, that was something when I first heard, I said, oh, I love experiences. So for me to say, oh, I host, that would be dope. And at the time, I didn't have no confidence. So I was saying, nah, that's impossible for me. But I ended up going into the bartending. And when I was bartending, a lot of girls would be like, oh, you're kawaii or you're kakui. And I'd be like, oh, I am? Oh, for sure.
Thank you so much.
Man, you just, uso demo ii kedo, ma, arigato ne. You know, and then I got my confidence up. And after a while, he came back around after 6 months and he was saying, yo, you want to host? I was like,
get involved.
Yeah, I'm ready now. Coach gonna put me in. Oh, yeah. You messed with the right one.
So you've been in Osaka since February?
Since February.
This year, February. Okay.
How long have you been in Japan, though?
For 3 years. Since 2018 with the little cut in the middle.
Oh, you're getting to 4 years.
Where were you at originally before you came to Osaka?
Kyoto.
Kyoto, okay.
Kyoto.
And you swapped from Kyoto to Osaka. Why?
Well, I first came here from my sensei. I was in Texas and I had my sensei and she was saying, if you really want to get into Japanese culture and knowing the language, you're a big fish in a small pond right now. So you got to get up out of here. And so she was like, you can go to Nagoya or you can go to Kyoto. And I said, I want to do more so city life. Okay. So she said, okay, Kyoto's the place to go. And that's where I was at for 4 months at Kyoto Gaikoku Daigaku University. And I came back and then I said, okay, now I want to work here and I want to really get into it. So that's when I came back the second time. I spent a little time in Hyogo-ken. And from there, I was teaching English for a bit and my contract, it went out. So I said, well, I could renew it, but my visa's longer. So I ain't
go do something else.
Teach English for right now. I'm here to get some experience. So
swag.
I ended up just saying, okay, we don't need to renew the contract, and I'll just figure it out from here.
More power to you, man. It takes a lot just to be like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna figure it out. So
what inspired you, like, to do that? Like, what was your experience in Kyoto that made you say, okay, I like it out here, and I want to see what Japan has to offer?
And it's that negative push-pull. It went one way where when I was first in Kyoto and experiencing everything Japanese culture, and my brain is like, this is amazing. And then going to the other side of, okay, well, you're going to run out of money if you're just doing the amazing stuff and you're not spending time actually stacking bread. So then I went to the other side.
Can you tell the audience what stacking bread is, just in case they don't know what that means?
Tell our interns. Stacking bread.
Stacking bread.
Do you know stacking bread? Stacking.
Panを重ねてる。
パンを重ねてる。
大学はちょっとにくいけど。
Very slang, but stacking bread is making money. Making money. Stacking bread. Very, very slang. So we got this interesting dynamic. We've got an English lesson going on, some Japanese culture explanation. So if you guys are listening at home, tune in for the video for lots of laughs.
Well, what would you say is your image like of Kyoto? Like when you first came to Kyoto, or like, what did you like about Kyoto? Like what did you like about being there?
Oh, it's mad.
Daiichi-insho. What was the impression?
Yeah, Daiichi-insho.
It's mad samurai style, very culturally. I mean, it used to be the cultural capital.
Right.
Still is the cultural capital. It was the main capital, back with the Oda Nobunaga days and such. And I actually didn't know that first coming in. I was just, everything was great. The Gion Matsuri, and then seeing the people walk around in the kimonos. And for me, seeing how all that was just natural.
Yeah.
No one's out here like, someone's out here in a kimono. It was just like,
just everyday stuff.
You just pass by it. That's what you're supposed to do. Me, I'm, what is this? People dyeing their hair and such, and everything was just comparatively culture shock.
It's weird. Not to cut you off, bro. For some reason, older people, a lot of grandmas, they dye their hair purple. You notice that?
Yeah, especially old Osaka ladies have purple murukami. Why? Why do they old ladies have purple hair? ちょっと普通の感じ. It's common. Our interns have no idea. They're like, oh, we don't know either. But yeah, common thing you see out here is the have you caught the
Is that Seishin Shiki?
I
Is that
don't know, man.
But for 60-year-olds?
I don't know. I don't even know.
Coming of
age.
age.
Shiki.
The coming of age
Yeah,
ceremony
maybe.
part 2.
Yeah.
It's called an end of life crisis. You just get the purple hair, but there's a lot, man. It's okay.
Okay, what about Osaka? So you were in Kyoto, you had your experience, but now you're here
In the big city.
In the big city. It's
What
definitely
was
different.
Yeah, you moved around a lot, right? Because you said you were in Kyoto and then you went to Hyogo and then now you came to Osaka. And I want people to know one thing I like about Jayla, yes, he's a hustler. He's stacking that bread. But like to move from like one prefecture to another, it's not easy. Asa, we talked about.
We've covered
a
it in
few-
our previous
yeah.
episode. Check out the moving episode. But yeah, moving is a headache in Japan for sure.
But you obviously are like, yeah, I want to get some more experiences. How was Osaka? Like when you first came to Osaka, what was your like perception of Osaka when you were in Kyoto first?
Yes, when you were living in Kyoto. What did you think of Osaka?
I thought Osaka was mad dirty.
Oh,
I
word.
ain't gonna
That's
lie.
what everyone. That's the
Really?
Man's, I was saying,
That's
I'm
the
never gonna
image.
live in Osaka. Man's place
the image.
stink. This got trash everywhere. People
What-
parking
Really?
their
What
bikes.
what
where
I
it
think
says
is
don't
crazy
park.
is people, the image of Shinsaibashi, people apply to all of Osaka.
Oh no.
Because
that's terrible.
Shinsaibashi is that. Shinsaibashi is dirty.
But the thing is, being here,
Huh.
it's like, this is dope. Honestly, it's like,
he
yo,
said, I like the dirt.
the people, the graffitis everywhere, and the people are really saying, like, on the sign that says "Don't park your bike here." Man's got the fat old bike.
That's true.
On
People
the
don't
sign.
care. No, but what's cool, I guess also what's for people that don't know like Osaka really or Kansai is Osaka has this reputation of being like the uglier, dirtier city, especially when you compare it to Tokyo or Kyoto. But we're at this point now where there's so much investment coming into Osaka that you still have those pockets. Of course, Shinsaibashi, Namba area is exactly as Jayla described. But mixed in with that, you've also got these areas like Umeda and all the development, Umeda, what you've got going on in like Tennoji, the Tenshiba Park. You have like crazy high-end developments coming up that are making these really weird mixes of like the grungy traditional Osaka like next to like the giant shiny brand new skyscraper. So
Did it, yeah.
it's an interesting time, man. But like you said, once you're here, Osaka's the best, man. You can't beat it.
Yeah, I love Osaka, but can you go back into how you like Osaka? What you said you thought it was dirty when you first came here, but when you started living here, you liked it. Why did you like it?
There was in Kyoto, there was a bit of a undertone in terms of you have to live a certain way. Tatemae is strong, and Kyoto de ne. And in Kyoto, there was a sense of disconnect for me, and it wasn't there when I was first there. I was in school, and everyone was interested in me, but
Because you're not in the real world when you're
and
in
it's
school.
being an adult, and people also in college, they become adults, and we're not even from Kyoto. We
Well,
live in this other place.
Okay, what were you studying? Just to like let the audience know.
Okay, so I was doing psychology, and inside of Kyoto, I was studying the Japanese language.
And so, were you taking your classes in Japanese?
In Japanese for the Japanese lessons, and then
okay.
I wasn't taking any psychology. My last semester was when I did the study abroad.
Okay.
I got lucky. Most people, even the counselors, were telling me in America, not really anybody's doing study abroad for their last semester. I had already finished the psychology part, so I have a minor in East Asian studies on
you
my
could just
degree.
focus on the
And
Japanese.
so it was just like coming here was all those credits were just to get that minor.
Were any of your friends thinking of coming to Japan, or you were just like the odd one out of the bunch and was like, "Yo, I want to do this?
It was mainly my sensei. She was the one. I was a bad kid in school, and I didn't get good grades. But there's a little shawty I was trying to mac on at the time.
Swag,
and
swag.
my parents hit me up, and they were saying, "We got this military for you," which is my dad was in the military, so he had this thing called the Hazelwood Act in Texas, which would allow him to go to school for free, or his wife or his spouse and children. And he had 5 kids, and my mom, they met up, and then she was the one who found out about it, and then they had me. So all the other kids, they was already done with college, and then I came around, and then my mom's like, "Yo, did you know you could have went to college for free?" And dad's like, "I ain't going to college." Mom's already got 2 degrees, so they were like, "Oh, we just passed it to him."
Beautiful.
I took advantage of it and then misused it to where I was not doing good in school. So my parents were saying,
Normal American.
the thing was, I
Normal
met
American.
the shawty in the school. So they used it to say, okay, well, we ain't going to give you this Hazelwood Act. And so you can't go to the school no more if you don't get your grades up. So I went to summer school and I was on my Grizzy. I was calling this girl every day. I was like, look, I got to study, but I'm finna come see you.
But he's in
know?
love at the same time.
Right.
I got to study these textbooks, but I got to fall in love more. Careful, man. That's the downfall of every man out there.
Yes,
falling in
Asa.
love.
There's a balance.
Really?
Man,
No,
there's
actually,
stories.
a lot of people also say, it's the opposite. The success, the upswing is all because of
the
solid partner with you. So who knows? Depends on your own trauma, I suppose.
Every strong man behind is a strong woman. We hear
Kind
that quote
of,
from
yeah. It's
time.
kind of like with the.
Do you remember Vince? Remember Vince from the house parties, Barack Vince, Swedish guy, lots of tattoos.
Yes.
Oh
yes,
my
yes,
God, he is so in love with his wife, and he
Right.
just like anytime you're out, he brings that up. He's like, you guys just need a perfect wife. He's like, all your success will come once you get a perfect wife. It constantly comes up. No comment, Zane says. No comment. So Jayla, okay, man. So you've done time in Kyoto. You've done time in Osaka. You've done schooling. You do entertainment, you do production. But
Yeah,
tell me
wow, that's
about
wild.
the host life, because now you're doing it. You said you got your confidence up. You're in the coast life. As a foreigner host, what is that experience like? Because I can't even imagine.
There's a bunch. Nowadays I'm a non-auru, so I don't drink
Non-auru.
alcohol.
A
at the
non-aru.
job.
Non-auru.
No alcohol for me. And
So they can't take advantage of you?
You're hitting the nail on the head. When I was first there, it was just like any other job or anything that you first do in the beginning. There's so much experience and wonder and mystical that I was just thrown into it. And I said, wow, I'm watching what everybody else do. We all get crazy and have a party. Now, if you're someone from the island, then okay, that looks normal. But when you're not from the island, and that looks, well, here's this guy who's from America, and now he's showing his American side. And
Oh, so you're saying
there
when
can
you
be-
were when the party got going, everyone, the drinks are flowing, your American background was like much stronger, or like shined much more than the Japanese way of being drunk at a party.
And there's people who, I want to learn English, so it becomes a party for these people, and it works. Carrying manner at the same time that you're drunk. And a lot of these hosts are actually not drinking alcohol. I'm putting people on blast here, but at the same time, you could order vodka shots, and then you got the bartender trade for that, what vodka looks like, and then, people are still spending money, but the hosts can maintain themselves throughout the night.
So they got to keep the image going, but they got to obviously keep themselves. Yeah, it makes sense. They got to keep themselves in control, of course. If your host is blackout drunk and puking on someone, it's probably not a good look for the establishment.
Okay, if you want to be a host, like, what do you need to be a host?
The number one
Checklist.
beating off all the other things. Most people would say, you got to know Japanese, you got to have a suit, and you got to look pretty and everything. The main thing you really need is the confidence. So we got the fingers up. We can.
Jishi, ichiban daiji na
jishi.
koto, jishi. Gotta have the confidence, right?
What about makeup? Do a lot of men wear makeup?
My makeup is chapstick. You might get that.
My makeup is
Nah,
chapstick.
like I
Put
be
that on a
seeing,
t-shirt.
like it's crazy in Japan. Japan, like certain places you go in Japan, they have the big trucks with like the the advertisement.
The boys,
on it. Yeah,
pretty host boys.
Yeah.
The
Their
Kamakura
hair is
boys.
like up, and they got makeup on. You feel me? I don't know what type of girls like they macking on though. Are they getting really pretty?
That's my
women?
question. What is your audience? Is it like lonely older women?
40-year-old women that are
40-year-old
lonely.
women?
Like, we really are here suffering to make this money. We is not suffering to make this bread. We actually have a lot of young girls that come to these clubs.
That's cool.
What are they into? What why do they want to be wined and dined? What is that about?
Oh, well, that can go deep. To say I could hit every girl's perspective on the head would be too amai for me.
Yeah.
But a lot of people that come to these clubs are lonely and they don't get the type of affection that can be gotten. It's the same as people who go to USJ. Like, for me, I've not been to USJ just yet. I'm gonna just say that now because I'm gonna go soon. So
Halloween time is really dope, but okay, keep going.
and there's people who's never been. There's a person who's gone one time and said okay. And then there's people who get the season pass. And then there's like, I go there every day. And you get those type of customers too. It's its own world where people can come, and you get the girls who come and they say, well, this is my type of style.
So would you say that girl, because it's not normal, guys, for dudes or anybody to just go up to a random girl in Japan and start talking to them. It's not the normal thing. You know what I'm saying?
The nampa?
Yeah, nampa.
それは珍しいですね。
But are you saying that some girls want to be approached?
No, it goes in levels, and there's a host word for it. It's nampa is nampa. We're flirting with girls, and you could do that at a bar. You could do that on the street. But for a host, it's called catch. And that's the nampa, but to get the girl to come to the bar is the ultimate last step.
So this is, and I think for viewers outside of Japan, because to me, I still think this is the weirdest culture
big
in
facts.
Japan. Like, as an American, like, to me, this doesn't, like, I get it, but I don't get it. It's not something I would ever do. But like in Japan, as Jayla's explained, there's a huge host and hostess culture where basically you go to these bars and you pay for a person like Jayla to drink with you and hang out with you and have, talk to you, drink with you, in a platonic way, whatever happens. But it's we don't have this at all in the US, right? So for me, it's always super hard to understand. I've never even had the experience in Japan, mainly because I would just, I'm not going to pay to talk to someone who I can't talk to, of course. I'd be in there trying to get a Japanese lesson. But to me, I find, like you said, it's so interesting how it's like you get the whole time, you get the person that's trying it one time and they're like, oh, that was an interesting experience. But then you also get the people that are like, I want to, I'm going every weekend, So do you have your regulars?
So a word for that we have is called ace.
Ace.
An ace is
Catch an ace.
the thing with Zane was mentioning earlier about the guys on the trucks. Usually there's a kanji underneath it and it'll say isenman preya. And this is someone who means in a month that they're getting the girls, their customers, to spend an equivalent of isenman.
It's $100,000 US just for the quick conversion. These guys are getting their guests to pay $100,000.
And they wear makeup and their hair is like up, and then they wear like these really pointy shoes. They kind of look like leprechauns to me.
$100,000 a month is a lot of money.
Yeah, it's wild.
To spend on alcohol and talking to
Well,
someone.
because I'm sure there's probably like rich women that maybe been divorced, or maybe they're own
they're
a
just
business.
lady bosses and
lady
balling out.
bosses, right? But they're lonely, and that's crazy that they go there, because you can find me. I'm right here on the Kansai Collective. Come here. I'll give you. I'll show you a good time.
I'll talk to you for free.
Without the alcohol.
before
Non-outer.
So we're talking about hosting. Hosting. So you got involved. A bunch of different girls come in. You get a large variety of people. You got your aces, your regular. You got guys that are making isenman. Are they making that money, or are they bringing in that money for the company?
Their taxes must be crazy.
Bringing in that money.
Money for the company. Okay, so they probably bring in, making $40,000 a month though after taxes. That's a lot.
There's levels to it. There's being
levels.
the host, and it's like your taiken, your first day. There's getting into the groove and getting your first champagne. There's the champagne towers, and there's the senman preyas, and then you have this.
What is the Champagne Towers?
The champagne tower is the accumulation of customers that come in and then they buy champagne. So we can get into it a little bit with pricing, but to say to get one champagne bottle is the equivalent of about $100.
Wow.
And
$300.
you pop it, pour it, we do a call, finish. Probably about 2 minutes. You have the moe, which is nanamayan, and it lights up.
Wow.
Pour it.
Oh, it lights
pop
up.
Call, finish. Nippon.
Bankroll.
Then you got the champagne tower. I've not heard what the pricing is on that, and I will not say something that's not true. So I just know
Probably a lot of money.
the champagne tower uses 10 champagne bottles.
Whoa.
The Saman 10 champagne bottles together.
So you're probably spending, a nice little brick of money on
I
that.
think it's really like a competition, like who has the bigger beep. You know what I'm
Do you
saying?
think
Like
it's
it's
it a
so
pissing
weird.
contest the whole
Yeah,
time?
because it's
Or is there
everyone's not drinking that, right?
My question with your coworkers, your dorio, is it more of like camaraderie, or is it more competition, or is it healthy competition?
And that's why I stopped drinking alcohol, actually, is because there was a point where my lock screen was the ureage, which is the amount that a person sold. So I would used to just look every day and say, okay, this is the number one person. I'm here, and I only need to listen to the people above me. And that was one side of it. You could say there's no camaraderie, but then there's still the senpai-kohai relationship that's there. So you can have someone who doesn't sell anything. This person is the cashier, or this person is telling people, go sit at this table, go help this customer, while the main tanto, the guy who brought the customer, has to go do a shokai or another thing. And that's the person. He might not make any sales, but he's been there the longest, and the daihyo,
Facilitating everything.
the person who owns the store, puts the most trust in him. So everyone, even the person who sells the most, is going to listen to what he's got to say. And then you also have the people who want to sell, and there's a little bit of selfishness with that, but there's a balance. You have to be selfish, but you also have to maintain the respect for your senpais and kohais.
Yo, what is like the lifestyle of a very like the number one whatever.
Man, probably
host?
balling.
Like what do they do? Do they walk in like, yo, I'm the and like I do whatever I want in this?
I got a crazy story about that. So
Tell us, Oshete.
So the whole senpai kohai thing, right? So when I'm first there, I'm the kohai. I'm number one kohai. So everything is new, and they're telling me, like, we're going to teach you how to throw out the trash. We're going to teach you how to clean the toilets. But for people who sell, they're not touching the dishes. Their money is not being made by washing the dishes.
They're bringing in the guests.
They're bringing in the guests, and they go with the guests. So the people who are washing the dishes are the people who are here to make sure that the tanto or the number one people can say, I want to get this $6,000 shots. Not $6,000. Oh, I was going. I mean, that might be the champagne tower, but like 6,000 yen shots, and you get 2 shots right there. And then the people who are there to help, we call the boy or the bartender, which I just recently became the bartender. Is like, we're just supposed to make it with speed and get it to them quick. The girl makes a decision. As we're having a fun time, so it'd be fun. What if we do shots? And goes, oh, okay. And then we're like, boom, we got to get it out.
Sale.
Real
Done.
quick. Yeah. Sale. Boom. Shots are here. It's already decided. It's already on the dempio. Now it's just time to drink it and move on to the next one. So the people that come in, my story with that one was that in the grand opening, it was my second month there, and I was getting used to everything, and I was the new guy. So we had a new guy come in. I thought he was new, like just new. And it was an all-black day, so we're supposed to all wear all black. And he came in on his first day, and he was wearing white. And I was like, oh, okay, like this is the new kohai. Cool, I got a kohai, so I'm going to get to teach him how to throw out the trash. He's going to start cleaning the toilets. I can start moving up in life. And that same night, he starts sitting at all these tables with all these customers I don't know, but we would get called to do champagne calls. And every time we do the champagne call, we keep showing up at the table he's sitting at. I'm like, I don't even know this dude's name. Why are we... And in the call, you're supposed to say, Hime to Oji, which means princess and prince. The people who get the champagne and you have the tanto, the other people coming in, we're calling you the prince, and we're calling the customer the princess. It's really like USJ style. Like you go there because you're in the Wonderland. There's people who are going there because
You got the fantasy that
we're
has to
given
be. Yeah.
excellent customer service. So for that, we were going. I didn't know this man's name because for me, I'm like, oh, I don't need to introduce myself because he's new. And when the shift's over and I'm teaching him how to do the trash, then I could ask. But then we're doing all these champagne calls, 10 champagne calls, and back to back to back. I keep seeing he's just sitting there.
You're like, bro, what is your name?
Yeah, I'm like,
who are you?
Yeah, who is this guy? I'm asking the guy who introduced me, like, did I miss something? Is this a different group chat? He's like, I don't know him either, but here he's getting these champagne.
Here we are. My man's balling out.
So his first month, he did East month. So for us, I later found out that he's got 2 years of experience, and he came to this shop to essentially reset. And he's got a great story too. I go to him for advice a lot, and that's part of the.
So he was a bit more tenured. He had some experience under his belt.
experience.
He's
Like,
like not my first rodeo at the host
for me,
club.
like getting champagne, I'm like, I'm happy. I'm talking to the girl, like, oh, thank you. But he was just sitting there, like, we're all like,
just another day at work.
and
Yeah.
he's just like, he gets the glass, drinks it, puts it down. Yeah, he's just chilling.
Yo, did you know that they have national rankings of hosts and hostesses, and they like have like there's like I think there's a magazine that covers it or something, but they rank like in the whole country. They rank, dude. The people in the top 10, their Instagram accounts are crazy.
Wow.
They have millions of followers, like because they're the #1 host in Japan, right? And they just live like royalty. But my thing is what. I couldn't get paid to get drunk every night.
Yeah,
That's why I
no.
can't work in nightlife because like I love to drink. I can go out and have a good time, but like then I need 4 days to not do anything. So if I gotta go to work, I would become like a non-outie very, very quick because I can't be getting paid to get drunk every night. My liver would not be okay with that.
So this is very interesting, but I just want to touch on another subject since we have Jayla here. You see him with his drippy attire.
Appreciate it.
Drippy boy.
Now you are a host. Now you had a little crazy experience, man. You came here for school, and then you lived in Kyoto, and then you went to Hyogo, did some teaching, and then you came to Osaka, became a host. But through that whole time, man, you were a rapper, bro.
Here we are.
Say what?
Here we are.
How long have you been rapping, bro?
Since 2011.
11 years, 12 years.
Yeah. Okay.
Favorite genre rap right now? What are you?
Rage beats. People who
Rage
do
beats.
rage.
Please explain.
There's aggressive funk, and it's where the beat is very electronic in a sense, but also it's heavy, real heavy. If you listen to Yeet, if you've seen the Minions, that new John that came out, Yeet's on there. He's got a song called Rich Minions, and it's using a rage style beat. And these are the real heavy style, and the rap that's on it is usually slower, but the beat is real intense.
What kind of music do you make?
My music is hip hop, R&B, electronic, experimental, making my own essentially, collaborating with artists. But when I was last rapping, it got to where I could make my own beats, so I would do essentially any genre at that point.
So do you got, because I've seen stuff on Instagram, so you got like the whole setup at your place and you can just mix up beats basically at your house, right? Right. Nice. Very, very cool.
Okay. Have you done anything with music out here in Japan yet?
In Japan for 6 months, that Kyoto time span,
Okay.
there was a time where I was in there and essentially making 5 songs a day and just having a hard drive full of songs and releasing 6 songs every week.
Okay.
And I did that for 6 months, and I still have those songs up. That era is finished, but anyone who's interested, it's on there on Spotify.
Go check them out.
What's your name, bro? Come on.
Check the plug.
Shout yourself out.
Tony Kaku J.
Tony Kaku.
That's
Okay.
the one.
Tony Kaku J. Check him out. Let us know what you guys think. Is it the flow? What can he do better? What can he do worse?
Pink Tony Waifu is the jam. Start from
Pink
there.
Tony Waifu. Okay, I love the
What
names.
what's your name now? Is that the same name you go by? Your rap name?
The rap name is different. The rap style is different. Back then, a little bit of clarification. Tony Kakuje is very much heavy into samurai and ninja, and we were talking about what drew you to Kyoto, and essentially Tony Kakuje is the answer. That can listening to that, it was I wanted to show my peoples back at home you can leave your country and it's okay. You know, like you can experience a culture that interests you, and expressing it through music was my way of saying I can't just talk to these people. It's like I want to talk in a way they understand. And a lot of growing up would be we'd watch 8 Mile together, and we'd be doing the last battles, and you'd be like, you don't know what I've been through, but I know something about you, and we'd be repeating the lines back and forth. And so I just knew that my family was really into hip-hop. And so for me, it's like I can not only express myself, I'm outside of that bubble of being in the family and taking advice from family, which is always great, but there's also limiting advice there too. So it's just
having the freedom to then act,
the
taking that advice, but then act in the way that you want to move forward with it.
Yeah, because being in Japan for the last 3 years altogether, like I said, I was rapping since 2011, which means I was in America doing it. But my peers had, in a sense, had a big influence on me, and my family also had an influence and were telling me things that I should focus on instead of that, and it ended up being that. So there is, to say since 2011, there is almost a 7-year gap in the middle of just, now I'm just a fan of music because I could never make it. But getting inspired again before coming to Japan and starting up again, and that going in line with coming back to Japan.
Getting back on the horse.
Do you use a lot of Japanese in your raps?
I have a couple projects that are only in Japanese too.
Oh, nice.
This one's called Sense. It's a half project. It's called Sense in English and then Sensu in katakana.
Do you feel like when you rap, when you speak in Japanese, you get a different type of imagery? Like you like your flow changes?
I do have to say I use the same American style of you're rhyming the last word together, and you could hear in Japanese hip hop where they're at some points just speaking, and it's about the energy that's there.
Right.
But for me, going into it, I do use a lot of same American style hip hop structuring with Japanese words inside.
Do you listen to a lot of Japanese rap?
JP the Wavy.
JP
When you're
Wavy.
listening to this, you're
JP
finna
the
make
Wavy.
something.
Okay, JP the Wavy. Who's your favorite Japanese rapper?
JP the Wavy.
JP the
JP
Wavy.
the Wavy.
I gotta check it out. I'm a Miyachi fan. I love
Ego wakarimasen.
even. I mean,
Ego wakarimasen.
Famimont rap, Ego wakarimasen, Araragi. I mean, you got Japanese hip hop, Japanese rap is actually top tier. You just got to know the right people. Anarchy is super old school. He's like the Snoop Dogg-esque like old school Japanese rapper. Anarchy, you got Daruma, you got Miyachi, you got Money Host. I feel like I'm saying his name wrong.
Yo, there was a point when Japanese, you remember like when trap like first got really popular, and then there was a Japanese dude that rapped over trap.
Ijima?
Yeah.
Cole?
Yeah.
Cole, I was gonna say Cole is also
Yeah.
super, but Cole's famous outside of Japan now as
he's
well. But what I love, like, so I said Miyachi is my favorite because not only like, I think the pinnacle, and again, I don't know anything, but as a foreigner and being here and having talked to a few like kashu, like singers and rappers, a lot of Japanese artists, to them, like being able to integrate English naturally into their Japanese music is like a huge like challenge, and also like something that they strive to do, right? What I love about Miyachi's flow is because Miyachi's Japanese, but he's raised in Brooklyn, or he's raised in New York. I don't know which borough, but he speaks fluent English. So I've yet to find another rapper that can seamlessly switch between like dope flow in English. Like, I mean, the bars he spits in English are up there with any, famous rapper. And then can seamlessly jump into, like, the dopest Japanese rap that you'll hear. So Miyachi is also... And he also has just tons of funny videos. Miyachi.
Yeah.
We got to get Miyachi on the...
Konbini.
Miyachi,
Yeah,
man.
that would be
Konbini
super
conventions.
cool.
Come to Osaka, man. We'll get Miyachi
He
on
did
the
a
channel.
Konbini conventions out here.
You seen the Konbini confessions?
For sure.
Oh,
Shibuya,
of course. So you guys don't know, quick shout out. You gotta check the Konbini Confessions. This man dresses up as a news reporter, gets hammered, and then just interviews Japanese people. But it's American humor style,
Right.
which trips Japanese people up because they're like, "Is this a joke right now?" But Americans watching are like, "This is hysterical."
Right,
Like,
right.
it messes. So I love Japanese rap, and I think it's such a challenge for even approach songs in Japanese, but you got multiple projects, you said, right?
While we're here, because no one does this, I want to be the first one to do this.
Pump it up.
We're talking about Americans tripping up Japanese. There's actually a lot of hip hop artists that are black and using Japanese in their raps. So I want to shout out Duga Harajuku. I want to shout out Flyer Miles J, Monsieur Giovanni. A lot of these people are in Tokyo, but these guys, I've been watching, I've been peeping. Same as how I met Zayn, I've been peeping them, and a lot of people ain't gonna say that they've been peeping, but I gotta say, I'm not the only one out here, and we all have our different styles and flavors. I know I'm missing a couple people that are actually out here making moves. Like we got Crafty Kid, and we got A Valley. I just don't want to miss nobody, but I want to start this now. Just, if this is the interview where it's the first time to be said, there's a lot of hip hop artists that are African American from America and some from UK too that are out here using Japanese in their raps, rapping while.
So Japan-based rapping with Nihongo. Dope. So it sounds like it's a dope community. So aside from, and this is cool because like I'm a huge hip hop head. Like I love hip hop, man. So I've never I rarely, because I think
Who's your favorite rapper?
my favorite rapper
Who's your favorite rapper, Asa?
right
Questenberry?
now, are we talking like
It doesn't
school?
matter. Just whatever comes to mind.
Probably Kendrick or J. Cole.
Okay.
Stop playing with me before I turn you to a song.
Oh
Stop
yeah,
playing with me
Kendrick, J.
before I turn you
Cole,
to a song.
but tons, man. There's also like lots of like Jedi mind tricks.
Oh,
like out of Philly.
Whoa.
Like I mean, I like.
Whoa.
So yeah, you get it. Yeah,
Whoa.
dude, I got.
Jedi
all we would do
mind
growing
tricks.
up. I mean, growing up, you've heard me freestyle, man. That's all we would do growing up is just listen.
Hold
to
up.
hip-hop.
You just said freestyle.
Freestyle.
Can
Freestyle a
we
little
can we
bit.
get a freestyle, Jay?
We get a little
Mr.
beat.
J?
I don't think we have a beat.
It doesn't matter. You
We gotta
just
get
do
a
a
beat.
freestyle.
We need something. Well, no, we'll keep that for the. We got to keep that for the behind the scenes footage. Give people some stuff.
Ace
to
is
find.
being stingy with the
But,
content.
I mean,
Something
tons of. I'm just constantly checking out music, man. Hip hop in general. But Kendrick's dope. Recent album. What's Jayla's favorite?
Yeah,
rapper? That's
what's
my
your
question.
favorite?
Yeah, how about me?
Easy. Lil Uzi Vert.
Lil Uzi Vert. Okay, why?
Lil
Lyrics,
Uzi Vert.
meanings.
It
style?
goes back to back, especially Eternal Take. If you haven't heard that, it's just the first 6 songs go. I actually, it's the only song inside my Apple Music that is downloaded. So when I get off work, that's a little treat to myself because I listen to that.
So what also I think is crazy with hip hop right now is like you've got like the Gen Z that's trying to like cancel these old like for example Eminem is getting like tons of backlash because it's Eminem. He says whatever he wants on his track. He doesn't care. He'll call anyone anything. And you've got these 18 or 19 like this is not culturally appropriate. And it's like, have you ever watched 8 Mile? Do you think anything about that man's life is culturally appropriate in any way, shape, or form? So it's interesting to see like how our idea of hip hop and rap is now being interpreted by generations that grew up in a very different environment and different situation. But we can talk tons of that.
Okay, where do you want to take your music? Like, what are you trying to do with it out here?
My goal is taking it across Japan. So right now I'm Kansai based. And the spread is for Kansai. So making music for people in Kobe, Nara, Kyoto, and Osaka mainly. I haven't been to Tokyo. I can't speak on Tokyo.
God, we got to get you out there, bro.
And again, shouting out all those artists.
Osaka's fine.
I'm the main person that I know who's out here as African American rapping. I have yet to meet an artist that's in Kansai that's making music as an African American using Japanese in Kansai. Kanto, shout out, y'all got a lot of people, but in terms of Kansai, I am the only one. Please prove me wrong.
Takes a community to build a community, step by step, man. So very, very dope. So you want to take it spread across country. I think everyone, like any artist, you want create music that people vibe with and see where it grows. So just to wrap it up, so we've covered hosting, we've covered rapping, coming here, studies. What would you say for people that are in a situation where like they might be on a teaching contract and they're like, I don't want to do this anymore, but maybe they're nervous to not have a set plan because it seems like your contract ended and you're like, I'll figure out something, right? So what do you recommend, just to close it off, what do you recommend to someone in that situation who's contemplating doing something different but might not have the confidence? Do you have any?
Everyone's got a personal legend. Everyone's wants to go to the pyramids. Some people never make that journey, but some people say, I'll try my luck. And it's not for everybody. That's the main thing, is if you're going to do it, just know that you're going to be doing it. It's not something where it's going to be peaches and cream, but you also got to say, you know, with your current lifestyle, there's not peaches and cream there too. So it's like, what peaches are creamy enough for you to go reach for them?
What peaches are creamy
Very
enough?
good
I love
usage
it.
of
I
peaches
love
and
it.
cream.
I love it. Yeah, man. I mean, as they say, you know, everything's hard. Which hard do you prefer, right?
Big
Being
facts.
fat's hard. Going to the gym's hard. Which hard do you prefer? So excellent, Jayla, man. Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Zane's trying to get
Yeah.
it. Guys, thank you for tuning in to
Tuning
another
in.
episode.
Yeah. Tune it in. Like,
Thank you, Tomo. Thank you, The Deck. Thank you, Hinomaru. Thank you, Edge Wilderness. Thank you, Skyscape. Skyscape.
Skyscape.
We got a lot of stuff going on. And we'll see you guys on the next episode of the Kansai Collective. Peace.
Kansai Kollective. West side of Japan, we out here coolin', ain't a nicer guy.